that day will never come. Even if I don't submit my certificate at any place. It's not pride. I'm telling you. There are things I have engaged in for the past close to 10 years. That right now, even if I decide that I will do nothing, even not preach, I will still be blessed. Whether you are a music minister, whether you are a pastor, whether you are an academician, whether you are, it doesn't matter which sector you find yourself. Among these fingers, there is a way you can fit in yourself. I submit to you. And I will show you there are many people with all the disadvantage that you claim you had, yet again they are successful. What did they know? So because of this, I want to let you understand that there is what is referred to as the prime of greatness. The prime of greatness is how a time comes in your life when you have achieved everything you have achieved as a great person. The next thing you desire to do is to make others to become great. Greatness itself is not the stopping stone. Greatness itself, I assure you, is just but a stepping stone. Every great man, true great man, his desire is to see others become great like them. If you see any man that is selfish and is great, he was never truly great by God, through God. So the apex of our greatness is not that in ourselves we become great, it's that we put ourselves under a protocol to also help lift others. One of the only help you can do to us is that when you come to a point where you have achieved something, please show us how you have achieved it. One of the only way a fire is burning inside this hall now, literal fire, and men are about to perish, peradventure you find a way you escape outside. The only help you can give us is not to throw your ATM card inside for us, is to show us how you went out. The prime of greatness is not you becoming great, is to help others to become great. At the tail end, those that make many more people become great are the ones that are greater. But another big challenge is this: many people went through a lot to become great, and because of that, when they become great, they could no longer trust no one, because the great are always lonely. It's always lonely at the top. Do you know why? At the top is not saturated, it's only saturated at the bottom. Everybody you see striving to go to the top always face resistance. Why? Because this is the starting point. When you go up, there are things you knew that took you there. Nobody can bring you down. It will take yourself and God to bring you down. That is the danger of greatness. Because a time comes when you have become great by yourself, and I'm assuring you, because you have ascended that echelon by yourself, it becomes almost impossible for anybody to bring you down, because there are things you have known and it has sustained you there. So in this kingdom economy, anything that God communicates to you, it will be wise of you to also communicate it unto others. Why? So that they can be able to join together with you in the prime, in greatness. And that is the reason why the ancient landmarks and the pathways are still being made available. Apart from the prime of greatness, there is another beauty referred to as the bondage of greatness. The prime of greatness gives a common man an availability, an advantage to those that are great. The bondage of greatness creates an availability so that the great man can be able to leverage on those that are not great. At the tail end, you can never be great in this life until a great man uses you. Write it down. They are using me. Oh. If they cannot use you, it means you are useless. It only takes people that are useful to be used. If I cannot discern any gift or ability inside of you, what do I need you for? You are very useless. Go and find. Your first step is not looking for a great man. is discover what you have first. When you discover what you have, then you can now come to a great man and find a way to serve through greatness to become great. So in prime of greatness, a great man has become great. Now he's looking for who he can help become great, so that his legacy can continue. In the bondage of greatness, a great man wants to become greater. Because one of the greatest bondage in greatness is that every great man wants to become greater. Dangote is still looking for money. Bill Gates is still looking for money. Elon Musk is still looking for money. Dr. Paul Eneche is still planting church. Daddy Adebo is still planting church. What are they looking for? Are they not great already? Why can't they wake up and say, from today we don't need any new church in redemption land? I'll be in RCCG. We don't have to plant any church again. We have had enough. In fact, if you are interested in planting church, change the name to something. You will never hear that. Do you know why? It's a bondage in greatness. That every great entity, every great human being, every great person wants to become greater. And because they want to become greater, it's a trap. Because that is your only leverage to be able to enter into the economy. No great man has your time. They only have your time, so long as you have a way to leverage through them. See, there is no one you ever see today that is great that is not traceable to somebody. It's a lie. I assure you, you can count 10 and I will guarantee you 9 have come to a point where one way or the other they were either used or they leverage upon the bondage in keeping to the greatness of somebody for them to rise. You will never believe that you ever be great until you find a template in a man you can follow. And that is the reason why, whether you like it or not, at every point in time, if there is a certain level of DNA of greatness in you, it resonates towards anything that is great. And because it resonates towards anything that is great, or it gravitates towards a great person. There are many of you that are friends with so many great people, you don't even know why they like you. Inside of you, there is already the G and the DNA of greatness. And even those people cannot do without you. You don't even know why they like you. You don't even know what you are offering to them literally. But there is something inside of you that compels and attracts greatness. But one of the advantages in keeping to this is, number one, when you find yourself connected to great people, there is a reason. God has brought you to be able to add up what you don't have, so that you can fast climb the ladder. One. Number two, God has brought you so that you can be able to establish a network, so that through service to them you can be able to rise faster. Every great man wants to become greater. And because Pastor Dr. Paul Eneche need more pastors, you can come with your small grace and you'll be willing to employ and say, come and be a pastor in Dunamis. But does he really literally need you? I don't think he needs you, but you need him. Yes. If all the pastors in Dunamis resign today, I guarantee you every branch may go, but the headquarters can still remain. Yes, it's true. Why? Whatsoever that made every branch come out is still inside of it. But many of them can only rebel because now they have come to a point where they have grew through his tutelage. So his bondage and the prime bring him to a point where he became vulnerable to them, but they in themselves have to become vulnerable to him. So when we speak about the 5 fingers of greatness, we are speaking about the ability of God deposited in a man, through which God used to be able to bring a man to limelight. And there are not too many of them. Everybody you see today in limelight that is ever great in the kingdom, in the secular arena, there are few things that made them great. And so when you look into the secular society, you can count among the 3,000 billionaires. I can guarantee to let you understand that all of them are traceable to each other. Yes, most billionaires, they know themselves. Most ministers, they know themselves. Most ministers, don't believe me. I always tell you, if you know the number of ministers I know. Today Apostle CEPHAS was passing and he called me. He says he's going to Benue for what. I said, well, today is my service and we could not see. What I'm trying to let you understand is that sometimes I feel ashamed to bring some people to Lafayette. They beg me, ask me, when will you come? I say, don't come. Do you know why? We are not yet prepared. I know you see, if you think that you are ready to bring Bishop Oyedepo in this place, you are not. If Bishop Oyedepo come, all of us will shit in our bed. Yes, you will be unstable. Do you know why? You cannot leave. If Dr. Paul enter Lafayette here, where are we going to bring him? Where are we going to bring him? Where? The last time he came, it was the stadium he used. After then, we never won any match again. All the charms in the stadium break. So we may bring him and he will enter your house and people will start dying. So we have not been able to grow to a point to be able to handle certain territorial things. It's not just about bringing this one, bringing that one. Those things are good. But see, greatness begins from you as a person. Everybody has the potential to become great, but not everybody will become great. Only those that are willing to serve, because service is greatness. Jesus was the one that said, whosoever that desires to be great among you must first learn to serve others. Sometimes we laugh with my friends when we begin to speak about the chronicles of where we served, how we were used. Sometimes when we are serving, the people that were oppressing us there till today, when they see us, they are saying, well done, sir. And I wonder, how comes God allowed me to be here for that long? And yet again, the people that we are together, I don't even know what they are doing. Even the teacher that taught me, I saw the teacher, he was begging. Many of you, if you go back to your primary school, you'll be shocked. So the people that taught you in primary school, you are better than them now. But imagine if you refuse to be taught in primary school. If you refuse to be taught, would you have been here? So service itself is greatness. But it is almost impossible for men to remain in service. Why? Because it breaks every pride in you. It breaks everything in you. Except a corn of weed fall to the ground and die, it abide alone. Many of you don't want to die, so you abide alone. And like I said, in your days and time of service, don't be afraid, don't be ashamed, don't be too careful, because at that time you are looking for a privilege to exercise and to utilize the abilities to which God has given unto you. Everywhere he went, the Bible says he was doing good. Everywhere. But how did he begin to do good? Go to the book of Acts chapter 10, verse 38. That gives me the first finger of greatness. When it comes to this kingdom economy, it's not possible for you to become great except you are anointed. But one finger of greatness, which is the most important among them, is the anointing. I know when I speak about the anointing, many of you will think it's all about